Hey, everybody, it's Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks, and this is Baker Mayfield 360. A lot of interesting interviews to get to on this show. But, Buck, before we get there, why don't we do our own breakdown here of Mr. Mayfield?
The things that come to mind when I watch Baker Mayfield: feisty, gritty, tough, alpha dog competitor, a guy who is accurate and decisive with the ball. And more importantly, he's a winner.
Yeah, when I start with the positives with Baker, I'll start with just how quick he is. Everything's quick in the pocket, quick feet. He's got a nice, quick stroke. He can make every throw. Arm talent-wise, I remember telling you about it, getting a chance to see him live for the first time. Whatever concerns you may have had, okay, he's a smaller guy. Can he really spin it? This dude can spin it. I mean, you see him throw with velocity. He can drive the ball outside the hash. Now, the flip side of it, and what concerns you a little bit, is, okay, this offense is beautifully designed, and they get some dudes naked. I mean, they get guys wide open. And then, look, you got to talk about it, the maturity issue. I mean, this is something that showed up off the field, and it also even showed up on the field. All right, let's kick this thing off here. Let's get to our first interview. Going to go back to the high school days with Baker Mayfield's high school coach at Lake Travis High School. This is our chat with his coach, Hank Carter.
What kind of leader was he for you at your high school?
He was just a consummate leader, to be honest with you. Even one of the most vivid memories that I have is junior year. He's our starting quarterback. We go on to win a state championship, our fifth in a row. And our band had made it far in the playoffs for them. And so they're getting ready to go to what was essentially their state championships. And we did a send-off, and Baker Mayfield was leading the chants, leading the yells, holding the signs, doing a send-off. The football team, the quarterback, the most popular guy in town, was doing that for those band kids, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And that's the type of kid that he is. We could coach him hard. He was a good player, but we could get after him, and he always wanted to get better. And so that's not always the case with some of your better players. Sometimes they've been good for so long that it's hard for them to take some constructive criticism, and Baker was never like that. Baker was always looking for ways to get better. And then, that same year, we were 15-0 going to the state championship game, and he played probably the best football game of his career, on the biggest stage that there was. And so he doesn't blink. That's one thing about him. He's confident in his ability. He's confident in the ability for him to get the people around him to play at a higher level. And so the way that he's been successful is because he's outworked people, and he's had to play smarter, play harder. And so I think what that does is over time, it gives you a lot of confidence that even if you're up against some obstacles or even if things aren't going your way, you're used to it being difficult. And so he hasn't shied away from that.
Great chat there with Coach Carter. We appreciate his time. Let's get to our next interview, though. After high school, Baker Mayfield had a little turnover there, right? Goes to Texas Tech. Doesn't work out for him there, decides he wants to move on, and he ends up at Oklahoma, and that's where he's coached by Lincoln Riley, someone you had a chance to visit with.
Some of the people will talk about Baker and the system that you guys played in at Oklahoma. Why do you believe that regardless of system, he's going to be successful at the next level?
Well, because if you look at, what we do offensively, is, we do it a lot of the different things that he's going to do at this level. I mean, he's played in the gun. He's played under center. He's done a lot of play action. We've moved the pocket. He's been one of the most efficient quarterbacks to ever do it. He's really improved within the pocket and become dominant from there. And then, again, he's a guy that regardless what system you're playing in, when a play breaks down, the guy has just a great knack for making things happen. I've seen it for so many years now. I've seen it in different venues. I've seen it, different challenges the kids faced with so many eyes on him, with all the pressure in the world on him. The guy he's a winner. He's a winner. He's going to make your team better. He's going to energize your team, your fan base, and you'll get every ounce that kid has.
Well, Bucky, great job there interviewing Lincoln Riley. All right, not this year, but the previous year there at Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield had a big-time explosive weapon to throw the ball to, Dede Westbrook. We thought this would be a great person to talk to about Baker Mayfield, so here's our chat with Dede Westbrook.
What is that guy like when the lights are on and y'all step between the lines? What kind of leadership, what kind of personality does he have on game day?
He's pumped, super excited. What you see after he throw a touchdown pass, that's what you get. And I don't care if we are 54-0 at halftime, we gotta do more. That's the type of personality he have. That's the type of leadership he have. He want to fight. He want to continue to be better each and every play.
Give me an example of that, what he was like there in spring ball against your own dudes.
Him and Jordan Thomas will have it out a lot. Jordan Thomas is a real smart player, and he learned our plays, the signals. He learned his signals. So Baker will go at him just because he knew the plays. And like that's just the type of guy he is. Like, we beat you and you knew what we were doing.
Would he let him know?
That's the type of guy.
Would he say something afterwards and let him know?
Oh, most definitely. You know, he run up to him, you know, and do Baker Mayfield things.
I definitely think people are going to love playing with Baker, and there's a lot of folks going to love playing against Baker. They're going to have some fun there as well. But great conversation there with Dede Westbrook. We want to be able to give you a complete picture. We want to go with the obvious guys you'd think we would talk to, a guy like Dede Westbrook who's up for the Heisman Trophy with his teammate and Baker Mayfield. Then we like to go maybe the not so obvious. We like to dig a little bit deeper, like our next guest who is a WWE Hall of Fame announcer, Jim Ross, JR. If you follow wrestling, you're familiar with this name, and if you think you don't know him, once you hear his voice, you'll immediately recognize it.
What about Baker's personality and his makeup leads you to believe that he'll be a good pro in the National Football League?
He's a player's player, man. I mean, he has great skills. He's very competitive. He's just amazing. And I'll tell you what, the story, my wife got killed last March in an accident there in Norman, and it made the news and so forth. But when Baker first saw me after that was over, he gave me the biggest hug. He had tears in his eyes. I hope I don't get it right now. And he said, JR, I love you, and I got your back.
Wow.
And before every ball game, I got a big hug. This past season, JR, I love you, and I got your back. So that's the kind of kid he is. He's got heart. He's got passion. And he has worked so damn hard to get to this level.
Who would Baker Mayfield be if he was a wrestler? Who would he be like?
Oh, easy. He'd either be like the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
That's so funny because that's what on my mind.
The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, one of the two. He's flamboyant, exciting, but has the biggest heart and the most passion in the locker room.
Can you glean anything from the football field that you can directly correlate to being a good wrestler?
When I recruited future wrestlers from football programs, you find that you have several sources of background information. You can talk to the head coach, the position coach, the strength coach, academic advisor, all kinds of people that can give you feedback on the character, the work ethic, and the commitment of these players. I found John Cena at Springfield College. He was a small college All-American center, captain of the team, and a weight room freak. He also graduated, so he had good grades. He had a degree. He was captain of the team. He was an All-American. So why in the hell wouldn't I recruit a guy like that? Dwayne Johnson the same way. You know, The Rock was 6'4", 6'5", 270. When I had lunch with him the first lunch, every woman in the restaurant came by to see if we wanted more to drink. And a lot of them didn't even work there.
Well, Buck, I think we've done some cool things on this 360 series. I don't know if we've done anything cooler than that. How fun was that conversation?
That was a lot of fun. It was pretty. It's pretty incredible.
All right, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up here. We've done this for all these 360 episodes. Try and find the best fit. Where would be a good spot for Baker Mayfield at the next level? Why don't you lead us off? Which team do you like?
The best spot would be the New Orleans Saints. And the reason it would be the best spot, he would get an opportunity to sit and watch the guy that he hopes to emulate in Drew Brees. I believe a transition from Drew Brees to Baker Mayfield would be a seamless transition for the New Orleans Saints. That's why I would fully endorse that move.
Well, the team you keep hearing about is Miami. That Miami seems enamored with him, and I can definitely buy that as a fit. But Alex Smith, plug your ears. You're not going to want to hear this. I think the Washington Redskins, and really it's you almost feel bad for saying this, but Alex Smith gets you a couple years there, Buck, but he's proven he can mentor. Well, I thought this was one of our better ones. This 360 series is so much fun. I look forward to it every year. Lots of content out there. If this is your first 360 that you've caught and you've enjoyed it, be sure to go check out the other ones. You can go to NFL.com/podcast as well as Apple Podcasts. You can find the entire 360 series there. That's going to do it for us. He's Bucky Brooks. I'm Daniel Jeremiah. We'll see you next time.